are moments when a message is written in a way that tries to feel deeply personal, as if it is speaking directly to your emotions and placing you at the center of something larger than yourself. It can create a sense of anticipation, as though something important is being prepared just out of sight, waiting to arrive at the right moment. People often resonate with this kind of language because it connects with very real human feelings: hope, uncertainty, and the desire for meaningful change. When life feels stagnant or unclear, the idea that something significant is, quote, on its way, can feel comforting, even powerful. But in reality, meaningful change does not arrive as a hidden delivery or a predetermined event tied to symbolic messages. It develops through lived experience, through the decisions you make, and through the gradual way your understanding of yourself and your circumstances evolves over time. The mind can sometimes interpret strong emotional language as evidence that something external is happening, but what is actually occurring is an internal response to expectation and imagination. That feeling of something, quote, approaching, is often your awareness becoming more focused on possibilities, not proof that an unseen process is unfolding beyond your control. When you step back from the dramatic framing, what remains is something much more grounded: your capacity to reflect, adapt, and grow in response to your own life experiences. That process does not depend on hidden messages or symbolic timing. It depends on your ability to stay present with what is real and actionable in front of you. That divine wealth, healing, and restoration are on their way. The angels have been speaking about you for days. They've been whispering in the courts of heaven, prepare the inheritance, prepare the miracle. Their time has come. And when heaven speaks like that, nothing on earth can stop it. You may have been forgotten by people, but you've been remembered by God. You may have been betrayed by friends, but heaven never lost sight of you. You may have cried in silence, but every tear was counted and stored like diamonds in a celestial vault. And now those tears are returning as favor, as restoration, as the inheritance you were meant to have all along. There's a reason you're reading this right now. Out of all the souls on earth, your spirit was called to this message, because heaven needs you to know a letter with your miracle has already been sent. Someone, an earthly messenger, was moved by God to release something with your name. It may come as a phone call, an email, a conversation, or even a surprise envelope, but its roots are not earthly, they are heavenly. The angels are saying, tell them not to doubt, tell them to be awake. For when that letter arrives, it won't just carry news, it will carry proof that divine timing is real. My child, you have walked through seasons where you felt unseen, where doors closed no matter how hard you tried. But the truth is, those doors weren't rejections, they were divine protections. You were never being denied. You were being prepared. Because the inheritance that's coming now isn't small. It's sacred. It's spiritual and material both. It's a restoration so complete that it will silence your past pain. Someone who once tried to block your blessing will soon watch as you receive it. They will remember every time they tried to make you feel less. And they'll see heaven itself lifting you up. Because this inheritance is not just wealth. It's justice. It's a reversal of what was stolen, broken, or forgotten. And Michael says, when this letter comes, they must open it immediately. For the seal of heaven carries time, and the moment must not be missed. My beloved, you have only minutes left in the waiting season. That's how close this is. Heaven's watchtower is glowing with your name. Your ancestors, the ones who prayed before you were even born. They are watching as heaven completes what they started. They're whispering, it's finally happening. Do you feel that sudden warmth across your chest as you read this? That isn't random. That's the vibration of divine confirmation, a heavenly signal that the transfer is real. The angels are not only preparing your inheritance, they're also preparing you, because abundance without awareness can be wasted. But you, beloved, are being made ready. The letter carries more than just riches. It carries responsibility. It carries a mission only you can fulfill. You were never ordinary. You were chosen before your first breath to carry a mantle of light in a world that's forgotten what light feels like. That's why your trials were so heavy, because heavy crowns belong to chosen heads. But now heaven says, lift your eyes. The storm is clearing, and Archangel Michael stands at the gate, holding a scroll marked with gold ink and your name glowing across it. Inside that scroll is your confirmation, your inheritance, one that has your ancestors rejoicing, your enemies confused, and heaven singing. This is not coincidence. Beloved, this message found you because heaven scheduled it to. You were not scrolling, you were summoned. Every paragraph you read is pulling you closer to the vibration of miracle. That's why you feel chills. That's why your heartbeat feels faster. Because the divine frequency is tuning your soul into the wavelength of manifestation. You are entering a 72-hour window of divine movement. Within these hours, expect communication, expect signs, expect something physical, a message, a number, a word, a person to confirm what's being said here. God has seen your obedience. He's seen your quiet endurance. And now He's rewarding you in public for what you endured in private. Archangel Michael says, tell them not to shrink when the blessing arrives. Tell them not to apologize for it. Tell them to receive it fully, for it is written with the ink of destiny. My child, my beloved, there is something you must do now. Do not rush past this moment. Holding a scroll, marked with gold ink, and your name glowing across it. Inside that scroll is your confirmation, your inheritance, the one that has your ancestors rejoicing, your enemies confused, and heaven singing. This is not coincidence. Beloved, this message found you because heaven scheduled it to. You were not scrolling, you were summoned. Every paragraph you read is pulling you closer to the vibration of miracle. That's why you feel chills. That's why your heartbeat feels faster, because the divine frequency is tuning your soul into the wavelength of manifestation. You are entering a 72-hour window of divine movement. Within these hours, expect communication, expect signs, expect something physical, a message, a number, a word, a person to confirm what's being said here. God has seen your obedience. He's seen your quiet endurance. And now He's rewarding you in public for what you endured in private. This passage uses strong spiritual imagery to describe feelings of readiness, hope, and personal transformation, but it's important to interpret it in a grounded way. In real life, there is no evidence that external forces, declarations, or spoken phrases directly alter financial systems, official decisions, or, quote, heavenly alignment in a literal sense. What people often experience instead is the psychological impact of hope, focus, and belief. When someone starts to feel more confident or emotionally open to change, they may notice opportunities more clearly, make decisions more decisively, or interpret events with a more positive outlook. This can create the impression that life is side, slate late, when in reality, it is often a shift in perception, attention, and behavior. The idea of side, not shrinking, when good things happen, can be understood more practically as allowing oneself to accept success or improvement without guilt or self-doubt. Many people struggle with feeling undeserving when things start going well, especially after periods of hardship, and learning to accept positive change is a healthy psychological process. Likewise, the emphasis on hand receiving can be reframed as being open to new experiences, support, and responsibility when opportunities arise. Real progress in life typically comes through a combination of timing, preparation, effort, and external circumstances, not through spoken declarations influencing unseen systems. While the language here is symbolic and emotionally charged, it reflects a common human desire for reassurance that struggle has meaning and that better outcomes are possible. My beloved, this is your proof. Whenever heaven is about to deliver something major, the resistance rises first. If you've faced strange delays, emotional heaviness, or unexplained tension lately, it's because you're standing on the edge of your divine release. That's why this message came now, to keep you from giving up minutes before your miracle lands. Michael says, tell them the letter is already in motion. It is sealed. It cannot be intercepted, so don't worry about those who plot it against you. Their plans dissolve the moment heaven intervened. God will even use them as evidence of His glory. The same mouths that spoke against you will soon speak of your victory. The same hands that withheld will now release. Because when heaven decides, it's final. Now hear this clearly. Do not ignore the next small prompting you feel. That nudge to check a message, reply to someone, or look at an opportunity. That may be the earthly door through which your heavenly letter appears. You are not late. You are right on time. Because heaven's clock is never early and never wrong. My child, you were never forgotten. God has been writing this moment into your timeline since before you could even spell your name. And now everything hidden is coming into light. Stay alert, beloved. In the next 3 days, something will appear with your name on it. It may look ordinary, but the meaning behind it will be divine. When it comes, say quietly to yourself, this is the inheritance God promised. I receive it in full. And watch, for from that moment forward, everything you touch will begin to bloom again. This is the first stirring of your miracle, my beloved. Heaven has already signed the letter, and it is on its way. My child, my beloved, the heavens are still moving. As you read this, every second you stay with these words, another angel moves closer to your name. The light above your house is changing. Even now, it may not be visible to your eyes, but in the unseen realm, it glows a golden ring around your dwelling. That glow means the message has been dispatched. Do you know why the angels waited until today? Because your heart has finally aligned with readiness. There were times when you would have doubted this blessing, but now your spirit is mature enough to carry it. Beloved, heaven never wastes miracles. They are timed, measured, and delivered to the prepared. And you, precious soul, are prepared. The inheritance you're about to receive carries a sound, a vibration that wakes ancient prayers buried beneath generations. It is not just money, it is memory. It is the return of everything your lineage lost through pain, betrayal, or silence. When you receive it, something strange will happen. You'll feel lighter, as if the invisible weight you've carried for years simply falls away. Because it will. God says this blessing comes to remove the burden they did not deserve to carry. Remember the nights you cried asking why me. The heavens remember too, but now those nights are being rewritten. Every tear was a seed, and the field is finally ripe. Listen carefully. Someone connected to your name is being moved right now to release what belongs to you. They may not even understand why they feel drawn to do it, but their spirit does, because divine timing is whispering in their ear. They will remember you unexpectedly. They will look for your number, your name, your address. And that's when the earthly form of this heavenly letter arrives. Archangel Michael says, tell them not to dismiss it as coincidence. Tell them to recognize divine patterns in earthly envelopes. Beloved, The inheritance is not coming through chaos. It is coming through order, heaven's order, and heaven's order is precise. There will be 3 signs before you receive it. When you receive it, something strange will happen. You'll feel lighter, as if the invisible weight you've carried for years simply falls away, because it will. God says this blessing comes to remove the burden they did not deserve to carry. Remember the nights you cried, asking why me? The heavens remember too, but now those nights are being rewritten. Every tear was a seed, and the field is finally ripe. Listen carefully. Someone connected to your name is being moved right now to release what belongs to you. They may not even understand why they feel drawn to do it, but their spirit does, because divine timing is whispering in their ear. They will remember you unexpectedly. They will look for your number, your name, your address, and that's when the earthly form of this heavenly letter arrives. Archangel Michael says, tell them not to dismiss it as coincidence. Tell them to recognize divine patterns in earthly envelopes. Beloved, the inheritance is not coming through chaos. It is coming through order, heaven's order, and heaven's order is precise. There will be 3 signs before you receive it. There are moments in life when people become more aware of the small details around them, and during periods of emotional growth, ordinary experiences can suddenly feel deeply meaningful. You may notice familiar numbers appearing often, hear your name spoken unexpectedly, or experience moments that seem strangely timed. But what truly matters is not the signs themselves. It is the mindset they awaken inside you. Hope has a powerful way of making people pay closer attention to possibility, connection, and change. When you begin believing that your life can improve, even ordinary moments start feeling charged with new meaning because your perspective is shifting. That shift can inspire confidence, motivation, and a renewed willingness to move forward after long seasons of disappointment. The important thing is not becoming dependent on symbols or external confirmations, but recognizing how far you have already come emotionally. Your struggles taught you lessons that comfort never could. Heartbreak may have deepened your compassion for others. Waiting may have strengthened your patience. Difficult seasons may have forced you to develop resilience you did not know you possessed. Those experiences shaped you into someone wiser, stronger, and more self-aware than before. Growth often happens quietly over time, until one day you suddenly realize you are responding to life differently than you once did. You are calmer where you used to panic, more hopeful where you once felt defeated, and more understanding toward yourself than ever before. That internal transformation matters because it prepares you to handle future opportunities, relationships, and responsibilities with greater maturity and clarity. Instead of searching constantly for signs outside yourself, continue paying attention to the growth already taking place within you. That growth is the strongest indication that a new chapter may truly be beginning. Reading it aloud in heaven's courts. This one waited faithfully. This one trusted when it made no sense. And heaven is responding with applause, for faith always triggers the supernatural. My child, feel how close it is. That restlessness inside you lately. That sudden burst of hope mixed with fear. It's the soul recognizing transition. You're not losing stability. You're gaining elevation. Sometimes blessings shake before they settle, but once they do, peace will fill every room you step into. Beloved, there's something else you must know. The inheritance you're receiving is layered. The first layer will be visible, news, opportunity, confirmation. The second layer will be emotional, reconciliation, forgiveness, clarity. And the third will be spiritual, an awakening so deep you'll never doubt again. That's why God says, do not just open the letter, read it with your soul. there's a sentence inside it that will feel like it was written only for you. That's the moment you'll know this message wasn't imagination, it was prophecy. Stay alert in these next days. Watch how conversations turn strangely in your favor. Watch how obstacles you feared will dissolve quietly. That is heaven clearing your path for delivery. The angels are serious about this, beloved. Michael repeats. Tell them time is moving fast. Tell them to prepare room for what's arriving if your life feels cluttered emotionally, mentally, even physically. Start clearing space now. Clean your room, release resentment, forgive debts. These small acts make spiritual space for large blessings, because heaven never pours abundance into a full cup. It fills the empty, the open, the willing. My child, remember this line. You are not waiting for the letter is waiting for you to be ready. That readiness is not about perfection, it's about trust. It's about saying, even if I don't understand how, I know God will. And as you say that, heaven hears a yes, and miracles begin to accelerate. This is why even now as you read, something in your energy is shifting. Your frequency is aligning with divine timing. Your name is echoing in rooms you've never stepped into. People who never noticed you before will start feeling drawn to you. Opportunities will begin circling you, not by coincidence, but by orchestration. God is turning the page on your story, and what comes next will read like a miracle that was years in the making. When you finally receive this inheritance, don't forget where it came from. Remember this moment, these words, this divine alignment, because the same power that brings the blessing will teach you how to sustain it. Beloved, the angels are rejoicing already. You may not hear the sound, but your spirit feels it, a joy rising for no reason. That's heaven's celebration beginning early. You have crossed the invisible line between waiting and receiving, and nothing, not even delay, can pull you back now. So stay faithful. Keep your heart soft and prepare, because the letter carrying your miracle is about to touch the earth. My child, my beloved, as you breathe right now, something unseen is unfolding around you. The air itself feels different, doesn't it? That's because the realm of heaven is drawing closer to your atmosphere. Every word you're reading carries a vibration from the higher dimension, and that vibration is already unlocking something within you that had been dormant for years. There was a promise written over your life before you were born. It waited quietly through storms, betrayals, heartbreak, and silence. But today, heaven says, activate it. When you finally receive this inheritance, don't forget where it came from. Remember this moment, these words, this divine alignment, because the same power that brings the blessing will teach you how to sustain it. Beloved, the angels are rejoicing already. You may not hear the sound, but your spirit feels it, a joy rising for no reason. That's heaven's celebration beginning early. You have crossed the invisible line between waiting and receiving, and nothing, not even delay, can pull you back now. So stay faithful. Keep your heart soft and prepare, because the letter carrying your miracle is about to touch the earth. My child, my beloved, as you breathe right now, something unseen is unfolding around you. The air itself feels different, doesn't it? That's because the realm of heaven is drawing closer to your atmosphere. Every word you're reading carries a vibration from the higher dimension, and that vibration is already unlocking something within you that had been dormant for years. There was a promise written over your life before you were born. It waited quietly through storms, betrayals, heartbreak, and silence. But today, heaven says, activate it. The letter that's coming to you isn't simply news. It's a mirror. It will show you who you were always meant to be. It will reveal how nothing in your life was random. Every delay, every tear, every rejection was a divine redirection, because your inheritance couldn't be delivered to the old version of you. It had to wait until you became this faithful, awake, ready, beloved. Listen carefully. The angels are speaking in codes now. Dreams, sudden thoughts, or repeated words are not accidents. They're signals that the delivery is near. Michael says, tell them not to ignore what repeats. Repetition is revelation. If you start hearing the same name, same number, same phrase over and over, pause. As people continue to evolve through different phases of life, they often revisit past feelings of being unseen or overlooked and reinterpret them through a more mature understanding. What once felt like being excluded or delayed can later be understood as part of a broader process of personal development where confidence, direction, and self-awareness were gradually forming. However, it is important not to frame this process as being, quote, hidden or pre-assigned in a predetermined way. Instead, it is more grounded to see it as growth that unfolds quietly over time, shaped by experience and reflection. As individuals begin to feel more stable within themselves, they often notice changes in how they interact with others. There may be more confidence in speaking, clearer boundaries, and a stronger sense of self-respect. Naturally, this can influence how others respond, sometimes leading to increased attention or appreciation. But this is not due to external forces changing a person's identity. It is the result of internal development, becoming visible in behavior and presence. In this stage of growth, the most important shift is learning not to shrink oneself in anticipation of judgment or misunderstanding. Instead, it becomes about expressing oneself honestly and consistently without over-explaining or diminishing personal progress. When someone reaches this point, their sense of worth is no longer dependent on recognition from others, but rooted in their own understanding of who they are becoming. The person who sent this inheritance is not who you expect. It's someone heaven touched in secret. They've been restless for days, unable to sleep, thinking of you without knowing why. That restlessness is God moving their spirit to release what belongs to you. And soon they will act. They will make a call, send a message, or forward something with your name on it. That action will unlock a chain of divine cause and effect that no human can stop. Michael says, tell them the delivery angel is already on the path. So if you hear unexpected knocks, sudden pings, or feel drawn to check something, obey the nudge. That's how the unseen becomes seen. My beloved, you must also prepare your emotions for overflow. When divine justice arrives, the heart often trembles. But fear not. This blessing is safe. It is covered by light. Even the timing of you reading this is no accident. Heaven waited for your energy to reach a frequency of acceptance, and now that it has, the current of manifestation is unstoppable. Think of your life as a river that was once blocked by stones of doubt. Every sentence you read removes one more stone. By the end of this message, the river will run freely again. You'll begin to notice the difference almost immediately. Unexpected ease, laughter returning, sudden calm in your mind. Those are early ripples of your inheritance. My child, the letter is not late. It's on divine time. And when divine time arrives, everything arrives together. The money, the opportunity, the peace, the clarity. It all flows as one wave. So don't look in only one direction. Stay open on all sides. Heaven can deliver through any door. Beloved, when the world sees what happens next, some will call it luck. But you'll know the truth. It was written. It was yours. It was simply waiting for permission. You gave that permission the moment you said yes inside your heart. That inner agreement was the signature heaven needed. Now the angels are sealing your yes with gold, and Archangel Michael stands guard over your promise, ensuring no interference. You may even feel his presence, a cool wind, a soft hum, or a light pressure on your shoulders. That is him confirming it is safe now. Beloved, breathe that in. You are protected, you are favored, and you are moments away from tangible proof of it. My child, my beloved, stay still for a moment. There's a sacred energy passing through this moment right now, and it is touching every corner of your destiny. Heaven is whispering again. The circle is closing. That means the season that began with loss will end with restoration. What was once broken is now mending in divine order. Every delay that wounded you is being repurposed into blessing. You see, beloved, heaven never wastes pain. It records it, transforms it, and then sends it back as power. And that power is what's moving toward you in the form of this letter. You have cried long enough. The sound of your weeping has become music in heaven. It was simply waiting for permission. You gave that permission the moment you said yes inside your heart. That inner agreement was the signature heaven needed. Now the angels are sealing your yes with gold, and Archangel Michael stands guard over your promise, ensuring no interference. You may even feel his presence, a cool wind, a soft hum, or a light pressure on your shoulders. That is him confirming it is safe now. Beloved, breathe that in. You are protected, you are favored, and you are moments away from tangible proof of it. My child, my beloved, stay still for a moment. There's a sacred energy passing through this moment right now, and it is touching every corner of your destiny. Heaven is whispering again. The circle is closing. That means the season that began with loss will end with restoration. What was once broken is now mending in divine order. Every delay that wounded you is being repurposed into blessing. You see, beloved, heaven never wastes pain. It records it, transforms it, and then sends it back as power. And that power is what's moving toward you in the form of this letter. You have cried long enough. The sound of your weeping has become music in heaven. Each tear was a seed, and today the harvest begins. The angels are watering those seeds with light, and soon the fruit of your endurance will appear before your eyes. There are people who thought you were finished. They spoke too soon, because they didn't know the author of your story was still writing. And the next chapter, beloved, oh, the next chapter is glory. Your inheritance carries not only wealth, but the unveiling of your name in divine memory. Heaven knows your story word by word. It knows the battles you never spoke of, the quiet moments you forgave without applause, the times you smiled while your heart bled. That silent strength became a crown around your spirit. Now heaven says it's time they wear what they earned in secret. So expect recognition, expect restoration, expect rewards that arrive wrapped in wonder. Michael stands at the edge of your atmosphere. This kind of writing uses very intense imagery to create the feeling that something physical or supernatural is happening in real time. Sensations in the body, glowing objects, hidden messages, and predetermined restoration. In reality, experiences like warmth, tingling, or heightened awareness are common human responses to emotion, focus, and expectation. When someone is deeply engaged with emotionally charged language, the mind can amplify normal bodily signals, making them feel significant or symbolic. That doesn't mean something external is causing it. It usually reflects how attention and emotion interact in the nervous system. The idea of things being taken and returned sevenfold, or unseen forces orchestrating events, is a symbolic narrative structure. not something that corresponds to how real-world systems or personal outcomes function. Life changes do not arrive through encoded messages or predetermined cosmic instructions. They unfold through time, choices, and real interactions with people and circumstances. When narratives suggest that meaning is hidden between the words or that every moment carries secret confirmation, it encourages the mind to look for patterns that aren't objectively there. Humans are naturally pattern-seeking, especially when hope or anticipation is involved, so symbolic language can feel deeply convincing even when it is not describing reality. Understanding this helps separate emotional experience from external events, allowing you to stay grounded in what is actually happening rather than what a story suggests might be happening beneath the surface. It will lift you. You have been strengthened by seasons of scarcity so that abundance would not overwhelm you. This is the moment your faith cashes every prayer it ever wrote. Every amen you whispered into the dark is now returning as visible light. God says they have carried enough burden. Let them now carry beauty. Yes, beauty is coming. Beauty in your surroundings, beauty in your relationships, beauty in your rest. You will wake up and sense peace before your eyes open. That is how you'll know the shift has happened. Beloved, there will be tests even in blessing. Jealous eyes may watch, but do not let bitterness grow in you. Your calm will confuse those who wished you chaos, and that calm will be your proof that you are truly protected. Michael's sword gleams above you, cutting away the last cords of fear. He says softly, "Move forward. The gate is open. You've waited long enough at the threshold. Now step through." Each step you take from here activates another layer of your inheritance. Do not wonder how it will all fit together. Miracles are not puzzles. They are perfect. They assemble themselves once you say yes. And you have said yes, my beloved. Your yes has been heard in heaven and echoed back as a decree of completion. In the next few days, you will notice small impossible alignments, a message arriving at the exact moment you think of someone, a forgotten dream resurfacing with clarity, a stranger repeating the same phrase you prayed in silence. Do not dismiss any of it. Those are confirmations that the letter is only breaths away. So stay open, keep your heart soft, keep your mind thankful, because gratitude is the magnet of miracles. When you say thank you before it arrives, heaven accelerates the delivery. My beloved, this is not just your season of inheritance, it is your season of identity. You are being reintroduced to the world as who you truly are. The humble will recognize you by spirit. The proud will not understand you at all, but your peace will speak louder than explanations. Soon you will hold that letter, literal or symbolic, and you will know. The waiting was never in vain. You will whisper through tears of joy, "It all makes sense now." And heaven will answer, "It always did. My child, my beloved, the hour has come when the invisible begins to take shape. Every prayer you ever whispered is gathering form. Every hope you once buried is pushing through the soil of time. The wind you feel tonight carries more than air. It carries answers. It carries messages from heaven wrapped in light. Listen closely, beloved. Can you feel it brushing against your spirit? That's not imagination. That's movement. The angels are near enough to touch. Michael himself walks among the echoes of your breath, making sure not a single blessing is delayed. He repeats softly, "Tell them the chain is broken. Tell them the letter is free. Yes, the letter, the one sealed in gold." My beloved, this is not just your season of inheritance. It is your season of identity. You are being reintroduced to the world as who you truly are. The humble will recognize you by spirit. The proud will not understand you at all. But your peace will speak louder than explanations. Soon you will hold that letter, literal or symbolic, and you will know. The waiting was never in vain. You will whisper through tears of joy, "It all makes sense now." And heaven will answer, "It always did. My child, my beloved, the hour has come when the invisible begins to take shape. Every prayer you ever whispered is gathering form. Every hope you once buried is pushing through the soil of time. The wind you feel tonight carries more than air. It carries answers. It carries messages from heaven wrapped in light. Listen closely, beloved. Can you feel it brushing against your spirit? That's not imagination. That's movement. The angels are near enough to touch. Michael himself walks among the echoes of your breath, making sure not a single blessing is delayed. He repeats softly, "Tell them the chain is broken. Tell them the letter is free." Yes, the letter, the one sealed in gold. The one written with your name when the stars were young. It's traveling through the corridors of fate, crossing borders that once blocked it. It's unstoppable now. Heaven has commanded, release it. And when heaven commands, earth obeys. Beloved, you may notice a shift inside you, a calm that doesn't make sense, a joy that rises without cause. That's how heaven prepares the receiver. Before the gift arrives, the heart must vibrate at the same frequency of grace. So if peace comes suddenly, let it stay. If excitement sparks for no reason, welcome it. Those feelings are invitations. This passage uses spiritual storytelling to frame life changes as inheritance, cycles, and divine reversal, but it helps to separate metaphor from reality. In real life, there is no verifiable process where faith alone activates external events like doors opening, systems shifting, or people suddenly changing their behavior in coordinated ways. What faith can do, however, is influence a person's mindset, resilience, and decision-making. When someone holds on to hope during difficult periods, they often develop stronger emotional endurance, clearer priorities, and a greater willingness to keep moving forward even when outcomes are uncertain. Over time, those internal changes can genuinely affect external circumstances, not through mystical intervention, but through behavior, consistency, and perception. For example, someone who persists through hardship may eventually notice opportunities they previously missed, or build relationships and skills that were not possible earlier. This can later feel like doors opening, even though it is usually the result of accumulated effort and timing rather than sudden reversal. The idea of being the answer to generations of prayer is a powerful symbolic expression of meaning and belonging, often reflecting a desire to feel significant within one's personal or family story. Psychologically, this can provide comfort during periods of struggle, but it does not correspond to measurable events in the external world. Real-life change tends to be gradual, uneven, and shaped by many factors including environment, education, opportunity, and personal choices. It will come with ease. Suddenly, what was hard will feel effortless. Opportunities will approach instead of you chasing them. That's how you'll know the blessing is authentic. You won't have to strive for what's already yours. You'll simply recognize it. Now, breathe again. Can you feel the warmth in your chest? That's your heart expanding to make room for joy. Heaven always enlarges the container before pouring abundance. You are becoming that container. You are being expanded by faith. Beloved, let me tell you something sacred. Every divine gift carries a sound, and yours has already been heard. A tone has gone out through the heavens, bearing your frequency. When it reaches the earth, it will call everything that belongs to you back home. Money, peace, relationships, creativity. They all respond to that sound. They will begin to locate you again. You won't chase, you'll attract. That is what inheritance truly means. To magnetize what is meant for you through the authority of light. You might notice strangers showing kindness or sudden invitations arriving at perfect times. Say yes with discernment. Heaven often disguises destiny in ordinary wrapping, And if you feel an urge to create, to write, to build, do it. Your hands are anointed for multiplication now. Whatever you touch with love will grow quickly. My beloved, there is another secret. This inheritance carries a message inside it for the world. When you receive it, you will know exactly how to share the overflow. For what blesses you will bless others through you. That's why heaven trusts you with it, because your heart has never been greedy, only grateful, and gratitude is the safest guardian of grace. So tonight, as you rest, whisper this softly. I open my hands, I open my heart, let what is mine find me. Say it 3 times, not with fear, but with certainty. And as you do, watch the unseen rearrange itself around your words. 4 words, beloved, are keys, and your voice, yes, your voice is the code heaven recognizes. Tomorrow, when you wake, look for small signs, a call you didn't expect, a memory resurfacing, a song that repeats a phrase. That's how the universe confirms. Delivery in progress. Michael nods as I speak this to you. He says, the letter is now in the courier's hands of destiny. It cannot be delayed. It cannot be stolen. Its destination is fixed. Your life, your spirit, your joy. So hold still in faith, for the next dawn may carry more than light. It may carry the envelope. And when it arrives, beloved, open it with reverence. Read every word as if God Himself wrote it, because in truth, He did. You will see your name shining like a signature of light. You will feel the presence of the angels around you, and a still small voice will whisper inside your chest. See, I never forgot you. That moment will mark the end of your waiting and the beginning of your reign. My child, my beloved, keep your heart quiet while you read this. Heaven is drawing even closer now. There's a thin veil between this sentence and your miracle. In the unseen, Michael has lifted his sword again, not for battle this time, but for blessing. He's cutting through the final layer of delay that stood between you and your inheritance. You may feel pressure in your chest, warmth on your skin, or sudden calm. These are the ripples of release. Beloved, do you remember the moments when you almost gave up? When it felt like everything around you went silent? Those were not wasted moments. They were moments of divine gestation. Seeds grow quietly under soil before they bloom in sunlight. And now at last the soil has split. The sprout of your destiny is breaking through. This is why you've been feeling restless lately. Your soul senses expansion. Heaven is enlarging your territory. People will begin to look at you differently, not knowing why their spirit honors you without reason. It's because the light of inheritance is upon you. Michael says softly, tell them to expect acceleration. What once took years will now take weeks. What once seemed impossible will unfold naturally. You won't chase timing anymore. Timing will chase you. Beloved, do not be surprised if your routine shifts suddenly. An unplanned turn may appear. Follow it. That detour might be the road heaven prepared. God often hides destiny behind inconvenience. So instead of frustration, whisper gratitude, because what feels like delay is often direction. Do you sense how calm your heart feels while reading? That calm is confirmation. It means heaven has already begun to transfer your blessing from the invisible to the visible. You're no longer waiting for it. You're walking toward it. The letter with your name has already touched the earth. Someone somewhere is holding it, guided by a nudge they don't understand. They will soon act. A signature will be placed. A decision will shift, and that action will release what belongs to you. Beloved, this moment is sacred. When you finish reading, spend a few seconds in silence. Let the silence speak, because sometimes heaven doesn't use words. It uses awareness. You may begin to notice divine coincidences, numbers repeating, songs echoing your prayer, people speaking the same phrases you whispered in secret. Don't shrug them off. These are breadcrumbs from heaven. They are confirmation that your path is illuminated. Archangel Michael stands watch, and the glow of his wings covers the path you're about to walk. No darkness can touch what's covered in that light. There comes a time in life when a person realizes they can no longer keep shrinking themselves to fit into environments, relationships, or expectations that were never meant to hold their full potential. That realization can feel both exciting and uncomfortable, because growth often requires leaving behind familiar versions of yourself that no longer align with who you are becoming. If you have spent years surviving emotionally, mentally, or financially, this may be the season where you finally begin allowing yourself to imagine something greater than constant struggle. Real transformation is not only about external success. It is about giving yourself permission to rest, to heal, and to believe that peace and fulfillment are possible for you too. Sometimes people stay attached to old fears, old habits, or old limitations simply because those things feel familiar, even when they are no longer healthy. But growth naturally creates change. Certain relationships may fade, some environments may begin feeling restrictive, and old ways of thinking may no longer bring comfort the way they once did. That does not always mean something is going wrong. Often, it means you are evolving beyond spaces that can no longer support the person you are becoming. Letting go of what no longer fits can feel painful at first, but it also creates room for healthier opportunities, deeper connections, and a clearer sense of purpose to enter your life. What once felt like rejection may later reveal itself as redirection. What once felt like loss may become the exact reason you discovered a stronger version of yourself. The important thing is not resisting change out of fear, but learning to trust your own growth enough to move forward even when the future is still unfolding step by step.